Alright, so today I decided to make another army setup and strategy video, this time with the Empire. Just get right into it. While it's loading, a few things I gotta mention so you guys know. For every ranged unit you have with this setup, you need one more melee unit. So here I have 10 and 9. 10 greatsword units, 9 handgunner units. And you'll see why in a moment. Before I cut to the actual lineup after I get everything set up here, I want to point out that when you do this, I like to do this here. It's really helpful, and I get them in columns like this, 5 by, who knows what that is, and usually that's really good. And then for the handgunners, 4. So yeah, almost straight. There we go. That's good. Yep. So I'll go ahead and cut. Oh, we're back, and as you can see, this is the setup. You have a column of great swords, and then the handgunners are right here, separated. So this is what I was talking about. You need to have a melee unit on every end. And so if you would have the same amount of gunners and melee, then you wouldn't have anybody on this end, which would be really bad. So basically, I'm just going to show you really quick what exactly I do, like what I like about this setup and how it's really cool and whatnot. I'm sure by now you might have been able to guess, but yep. And while we're waiting for them to get closer here, I also realized you could put a crossbow unit like across here, so there's this gap, but that'll give them enough gap to shoot over. So I mean, you could shrink this line, but just have it more compressed with more ranged units. Really cool. So here they go shooting. I love this part. Just like volleys, and they just get wrecked. I specifically made it so that these guys were armored, just so they would take more damage. But yeah. All right. So these guys are getting pretty close. I think it's just about time. I'm a wuss. I paused. Sorry for that. But this is just to show you. Here we go. You just move these guys back like this. I'm just gonna do this one part because I'm not gonna do that for all. And I do realize this is really tedious as well, setting up your army like this. But hey, you know, it's cool. But basically what I'm doing here, moving these guys to come across and guard, you know, for a line basically. And I'm just having these guys come back. So this is kind of where crossbowmen would come in handy if you had them as well. Like, you know, you could have them back here constantly firing, and even if you move these guys, then you know they'd still be firing and putting pressure down. But yeah, let's go ahead and show you. So they just come back and they spread out. And what's really great is look how quick that was. It's insanely quick. And now these guys are just about ready again to start shooting some more, of course. I don't think they can get any shots over because they're obstructed. Yeah, they're obstructed. They're more of like straight line shooters, so these guys obstruct them. But what I usually do is at this point, once the line is up and fighting, I'll have these guys either if they're on this side or this side, whichever. So, you know, roughly this is the middle. I take this guy and just have him start moving over here. And while they're all up against the line fighting, I would flank these guys around, put them right here. They would shoot at the back line, easy win. So you can do this with halberders and crossbowmen early on, or just straight swordsmen, or whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. In fact, you could have, you know, a line right here. You could have guys, you know, normal formation, little squads or whatever, and then have maybe only this big of a thing going on, like over here. So they're right here, and then you have your normal army, and they could just be like a little side unit you can mess around with or use for certain purposes. But as you can see how the line is right now, really quick, I just want to tell you this. Normally this is how I had it, and I had crossbowmen instead. Um, I had the crossbowmen up here, and I had the melee units behind. And when the enemy got close, you know, I'd have them switch positions. You know, they would move back and they would move up. Well, doing that, I realized they get clumped together hardcore, and it's a lot slower. So unless I did it very quickly, like if they were right here, you know, and they were running, and then I switched. If I waited any longer, they would get clumped up, and then they would charge, and you know, take out some of my guys, and it was just a pain in the butt. So I found this strat's really awesome. It's really cool, and yeah, I hope you guys like it. I'm not gonna actually play this all out. I can't really commentate and focus on moving my guys around as well, so you wouldn't get like a full experience or, you know, an accurate display of how this would work, but I'm sure you guys could figure out everything about it. So, yep, that's pretty much it. Alright, thanks for watching.